Fighting for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now at 865-243-8255. That's 243-TALK. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
This is Patrick Riggins with the Patrick Riggins Show. Back for the last segment of an extremely short hour. It's like a time warp. It goes by so quickly. Warp again. We'll do the Rocky Horror Picture Show thing again. Real quickly, this last segment, I want to talk about something that came out here just this week, and I was pretty impressed with it. The actor and rapper Ice-T appeared on Britain's Channel 4 recently and had a few words to say about gun control. He was promoting his directorial debut of the documentary film called Something from Nothing, The Art of Rap. This chronicles the rap music's beginnings. Now, during the interview, the news of the Colorado shooting was coming in. So the interviewer asked him about gun control and what his thoughts are on owning guns. And here was his reply.
Well, I give up my gun when everybody else does.
There you go. And when the interviewer expresses a little bit of surprise at that remark, he followed up with this.
If there were guns here, would you want to be the only person without one?
Ice-T was referring to the fact that gun regulations are pretty stiff in Britain for law-abiding people. However, if Ice-T thinks criminals cannot get guns in that country, he is a little mistaken. He does demonstrate an unusual knowledge for someone in show business to know why the founders created the Second Amendment.
You know, the right to bear arms is because that's the last form of defense against tyranny, not to hunt. It's to protect yourself from the police.
Exactly. Tori's clapping. I don't know how you could say that any better. Guns are the last form of protection. And he correctly states you need them to protect you from the police. Because when guns are no longer allowed, it is the police who will be knocking on your door to confiscate them. Not all police, though, will obey that order. In fact, I know quite a few who would refuse and quit their jobs in law enforcement before doing that. But the fact of the matter is, there will always be those who will gladly pin that badge on and follow such an order. So you better have something to protect yourself when that day arrives. The interviewer then asked if having guns in America makes it easier for people to kill one another. Again, Ice-T answers that question correctly.
Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to kill people, you know, they don't need a gun to do it. You can strap explosives on your body. They do that all the time.
Again, a very good answer. Just look at the recent bomber in Bulgaria. Reminds me of a clip from this show just last week. Government cannot protect you. You have to do that yourself. The only thing government can do is write up the report about what happened after the incident has already occurred. What I stress to you is always be vigilant about your surroundings and what is going on. You don't have to be on high alert. Just make it hard for someone to take advantage of you. A good way is to notice if someone is taking an interest in what you're doing. Are they paying a little too much attention to you? Are you seeing them over and over in a store? Are they getting to the checkout line about the time you are? You don't have to be paranoid about everybody, just aware of them. Most people who are attacked in some way or another become victims because they failed to notice some warning signs something was about to happen. There is an old saying taught to many police recruits, which states, if you look like food, you will be eaten. The key is to not look like food. If you notice someone taking an interest in your activities, let them go out the door first. If they're behind you in the checkout line, get out of line and go down the aisle acting like you forgot to get something. It only takes a couple of minutes, but it can throw off the timing of someone looking to steal your purse or wallet. Mean people aren't just looking to harm you specifically. If you are in a public place, look around and notice what others are doing. Are they dressed appropriately for the weather? Are they nervous or sweating abnormally? being aware of your surroundings becomes second nature when you practice it. It gets to the point where you don't even know you're watching others until you see something out of the ordinary. And then you can decide if these people are up to something or not. Again, I'm not talking about being paranoid and afraid of everyone around you. I'm only saying to just be aware. But even then, you may not escape everything, but at least you will be one up on those people who are blindly stumbling around and end up putting themselves in harm's way. I know, for instance, Tori immediately noticed the volleyball players today.
Yes, and what they were wearing.
That didn't get by you at all.
And what they were wearing. The long sleeves.
Yes. So wasn't it interesting, though, that Ice-T, with these statements he was making about the guns are to protect you from tyranny and the police.
There's no better way of putting it.
And I think that was just amazing being in show business that he would say that. But I guess coming from NWA, which is
it's not shocking, let's say that.
Yeah,
that's
for the people who don't know, that was the rap group he was in.
But he was right. If you want to kill somebody can take their car right now and drive down the Gay Street, sidewalk.
Yeah.
Or they want car control then.
Yeah. Well, and there was a story I heard on the news during the break. The guy that was having problems with his wife and shot his kids and shot himself. His wife didn't know. I think they were getting ready to be separated or something, and she stopped by the house, and there's a bunch of cops there. There's a lot of weird people in the world, a lot of crazy people, and that's just life.
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to be, and the best thing you can do is protect yourself. I don't want to tell you what to do on this show. I just want to put ideas out there, and you can decide what you want to do, but, go get a carry permit. You're allowed to in this state, and there's a lot of states that have reciprocity with this state. Just having that around. There was a story last week, I believe it was last week, there was a guy in a store that went crazy and started stabbing people, and an elderly man had a carry permit and had his gun on him, pulled the gun out, ordered the guy to drop the knife. Now, he could have just shot him, but he ordered him to drop the knife. He did, immediately seeing, hey, there's a guy with a gun here. Who knows how many people he saved. The guy had stabbed a couple of people already, but the guy with the gun stopped the problem. So
sounds like gun control to me.
Yeah, gun control is hitting what you shoot at.
He controlled it very nicely.
All right, this week we have flown through another hour of the Patrick Riggins Show. I'd like to thank everyone for listening and helping to make this show's audience grow larger and larger each week. Please continue to tell your friends and even the people who aren't your friends to listen each Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so we can maintain the high listener growth this show has come to exemplify. If you get a chance during the week, be sure and, call the station during business hours. Let them know you're enjoying the Patrick Riggins Show. Letting the management know how well a weekend-only show is doing always helps out. If you want more information about us, go to facebook.com/Patrick Riggins Show. That's RIGGINS Show. And hit that like button. You can also find us on Twitter at Patrick Riggins. And you can find these shows, including this one, probably by tonight on youtube.com/Patrick Riggins Show. Again, that's PATRICKRIGGINS Show. Join me next Sunday afternoon when, once again, we'll talk about freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. This is Patrick Riggins, and we will see you next Sunday. Have a great week.
Join us again next week for a solid dose of truth on the Patrick Riggins Show every Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. Be there.